Hi, we're here today again talking about The Modern Guide to Antique Jewelry, my new book. And my name is Beth Bernstein, and the book goes from the time period from the 1700s to the Art Deco period. And here with us today is Peter Schaffer from A La Russie in New York. It's one of the legendary stores in New York. Peter is actually four generations, but we're on our fifth generation that has come into the store. Peter, he runs the gamut in the store from early to even later than the Art Deco period. But today we're going to talk about the Art Deco period and why it's so desirable, it was modern for its time, and now it's still considered one of the most desirable time periods that really all the time periods of style is timeless, and they all have their decades of style, but this one never seems to go out of style and never seems to stop being desirable. Am I right, Peter?
Absolutely, and it's also a lot of the clothes fit it perfectly as well, which is very. I mean, it just goes to show you how strong Art Deco jewelry is.
So are you going to show us some pieces that go today with today's modern clothing, and pieces that, have really run the gamut? And we were talking a little earlier today, just amongst ourselves, about how also Art Deco really inspires today's independent designers, and how it's inspired designers from the Art Deco period through today. The renowned houses, it inspired pieces again in the 40s during the retro period, and it also inspires, the details of it inspire modern jewelers today. So it's really a wonderful period. So if you'd like to show us some jewelry, we'd love to see.
Well, I don't know how well. Can you see that?
I can see that.
That's a star.
That is an amazing piece. I see that it has rubies, which is my favorite stone, in with the diamonds, and it's a classic type style bracelet from the 1920s into 1930s, right?
And one of the things we always like to show people as well is the back, because when you look at the back of a piece, you can always see just how good a quality it is, as well as the design.
And that one's all in platinum. That one is in the Art Deco period. They started using all platinum, and that one's all in platinum with the diamonds and the rubies, right?
And the rubies, exactly. And it's perhaps not one of the strongest pieces, but it's a very strong piece because has its subtleties.
Well, I think it's.
And here's a. Pardon?
No, I said I think it's quite beautiful. But then again, I'm a ruby person, so
easily wearable. And we have here a ring by Caldwell and Company, and it's dark coral, which is wonderful.
Can you hold it up a little, Peter, so we could see? Yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful. So it has, is it onyx and coral and diamond?
Correct. Exactly.
It's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
And one of the things about Art Deco jewelry is that it has so many colors in it that it can be worn with almost any outfit and any other period piece of jewelry from any other period, because there's always something in it that will reflect on what else you have on.
That's wonderful to know. And also, yeah, well, they also combine such beautiful stones. It started out being very, very white from the Edwardian times going into the early Art Deco was more white with pearls, white on white, and then they started adding all the color into it from the different from Asian influences and Egyptian influences and all the different influences, correct?
Well, speaking of that influence, here's an Austrian ring,
Okay.
which happens to be lapis lazuli, and the turquoise color is enamel, and it's got coral in the sides, and it's a beautiful, beautiful ring, also exactly from the same period, because you can just wear it any way you want, and it's going to everybody's going to stop with any Art Deco piece, and they're going to say, "What is it? Where did you get it?"
Well, what I love about your pieces also, they're really museum quality. You really find some of the best pieces, the wearable pieces like the ruby, the wide flexible ruby bracelet that was, of its time. But then these two rings, especially this one, is really amazing. I have never seen any other ring like that one. So I love the museum quality.
Neither have we. Neither have we. And that's part of the joy of the hunt for Art Deco. It's finding things that you have not seen before.
Mhm. Yeah. So is there anything else that you want to show us from the Art Deco period?
Well, there's the typical solitaire ring
Right.
from that period with the little diamonds on either side.
Okay, and also can you hold it up a little bit further? Yeah, that's great. Great. So, and that is what people are looking for in engagement rings today when they're saying, we want something different, we want something unusual, and we want something with inherent sustainability, which, pieces that are antique or, bordering on vintage have inheritance as sustainability, right?
Precisely. I mean, this ring with a 2-3 carat stone, it's interesting because it's a slightly different cut, and people are going to want this as opposed to I hate to say it, but I think some of the modern emerald cuts, they look like a cut piece of window glass. They don't have the style that this does with the little diamonds on the side.
So is that your old European cut in the center?
Yeah.
Yes. So, well, with
modified emerald cut.
Okay, so with the older cuts, they had more character. There was a lot more character. They might have not had the bling and sparkle that the stones do today, but the character and the personality of each stone was so amazing, right?
Absolutely. That's part of the design element, is that the stone itself, especially with this ring, is different from the modern engagement ring.
That's wonderful. Well, I really appreciate, I know that you're doing the Winter Antique Show right now, and I see people coming in and out of your booth, and they're wearing masks, which I love to see, keeping everyone safe. So I'm glad that you're doing the Winter Antique Show, and which is a lovely show. And thank you for taking the time while you're doing the show to talk with us today. And I will like to just show you a copy of the book that you have many quotes in and many of your jewels in. This is a modern guide to antique jewelry, which is available on Amazon for pre-order. And thank you so much, Peter, for being with us today and taking the time to do this with me. I really appreciate it.
And I look forward to seeing you again shortly.
Yes, me too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.